and thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to show you today how to paint a Louisiana swamp in acrylic paints. You are going to need the following materials. You are going to need red acrylic paint, brown acrylic paint, green acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, black acrylic paint, blue acrylic paint, and also orange. You will also need a blank canvas and a flat or round brush, but if you have both, that would be preferred. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to mix paint as well as applying it to the canvas. I'm going to show you some birds in Louisiana that I love to paint, and also show you how to paint some alligators. And you may even learn some art terms along the way. I really hope you enjoy the video, and thank you so much for tuning in. You're first going to start off with taking some blue and white, and we're just going to mix that together, and we're going to get a really nice light blue. The next color, we're going to mix a little bit of the blue, red, black, and white, and we're going to mix it up together, and it's going to make this a really nice gray color. One thing I would like to mention also is that the paint is on a glass palette. It's not a need. You could always use a paper plate or anything else to put the paint on. Take some of the green, and we're going to take that green and mix it with a little bit of red. That red is going to give us a little bit of a darker color, and it's going to give us a nice contrast. For the second shade of green, I want you to go in with a brown, with a dark brown, and this dark brown and a little bit of that gray color are going to create a really nice, rich, deep green. For the highlights, we're going to use a white mixed in with the green, and we're going to mix that together and just scoot it on along. And now we're going to create a purple. This purple is going to be made up of the blue and the red. They're complementary colors, and so they're going to neutral each other out. You can select any size brush that you would like. I'm going to go with a large brush, and we're just going to fill up about 2 1/2 of the canvas. We're going to fill it up with that blue. And we're going to make a little bit of a darker blue, and we're going to add that in onto the rest of the canvas. And that dark blue is that gray color that we kind of created in the beginning. Now I'm going to take some of that purple to darken it up, and we're just going to kind of lightly brush on over where the water is. And we're going to take some brown, and we're going to create the background, and in our background we're going to act like as if we are on a boat and we're looking out into the sky. And with that, I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter blue and kind of create further clouds. With this round brush, I'm just taking a little bit of paint, and we're just going to put a little bit of it on the brush, and we're going to dry brush it on for the clouds. And then I'm going to take a flat brush, and we're just going to kind of blend it out a little bit more. We want our clouds to be fluffy and to be fun. They're not structured in their organic forms. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of the gray. We're going to create waves in the water. And this is just to show that it's a body of water and that it's flowing, it's moving. We don't have stagnant water really anywhere in Louisiana. But now we're going to go in with that brown, and we're just going to, darken up the background. We're going to bring some of it forward into the foreground and get it out of the middle ground. And I'm just lightly dry brushing it to blend. Dry brushing is when your brush is almost out of paint, but you're still kind of getting more paint on there. It creates this really nice hazy effect. But now we're going to go in with a little bit of a light green, and we're just going to lightly add in some foliage for trees. It does not have to be very detailed because it is the background. These dots are the exact same size and they're on my fingers. This is just to show you a reference of perspective and how perspective works. So essentially when we paint small trees, they're going to be a lot smaller and thinner. And when we create trees that are closer to us, they're going to be a lot larger. And this is going to show perspective and show more of a field of depth within our painting. As you can see, I am doing the cypress trees pretty much straight up into the sky. Cypress trees are very thin at the top and they kind of taper down into a thick base. And that's how we're going to treat all of them. And we're just going to kind of scatter them around. Now I'm going in and putting in some cypress knees. Cypress knees are an aerial root for the cypress. It's these little knees that come up and they're called cypress knees because they kind of look like someone's in the water and their knees are sticking out of the water. But we're just going to add those around, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of the purple mixed with a little white and possibly a little gray. And we're just going to put that in the light of the direction of where the light is coming from. And so in this particular painting, our light is coming from the left. And so I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight, a very light purple highlight on all of the trees onto the left, and including the cypress knees. Now I'm going in with a little bit more of the brown mixed with a little bit of the purple and a little bit of black, and this is how we're going to create our shadows. And the shadows are going to be placed on the right sides of the trees because that is how we are going to show light going across our landscape. And I just kind of dry brush it on so that it blends. I'm going to put it darker on the trees that are closer to us than the trees that are further away. Now I'm going in with a little bit of the purple, and we're going to make a little shadows to show more field of depth. This also shows where the light is coming from. Now I'm going in with a little bit of a white mixed with the light gray to create a lighter gray, and I'm going back in the shadows to highlight it just a tad bit. Now I'm going in with our base color green, which is that middle green color, and we're just going to fluff around our clouds, our trees. I kind of like to refer to them as kind of cotton candy. Is how I like to teach or tell people to do the trees for cypress, but they kind of bow out towards the end and they're close up near the top at the very top. So now we're going to go in and we're going to go in with a darker green, and we're going to build up the shadows on the foliage. And we're just going to place that on the right side, remember that. And we are going to just kind of place that all over and cover all the trees. And we're just going to make sure that all the foliage has at least a highlight, a mid-tone, and a shadow. Now we're going in with the lightest shade, and we're just going to highlight the foliage. We're going to kind of glob it on there because foliage is like globs of leaves. They're they're organic. They don't really have a true hard line. Now I'm going in and I'm painting an alligator, and these alligators, they're real simple. It's just a little bit of green, a dark green that we used in the trees, and we are just going to kind of draw these little lines. With the egrets, I will go in with a white, and I usually will make almost like a crescent moon, and then I kind of add a dot for a head and then drag it down to connect with the body. And I'm just going to kind of place them kind of here and there throughout the painting. When creating a spoonbill, we are going to start with a light red and mix it with a little bit of white, and it's going to give us a little bit of a pink. And so we're going to use that pink as almost like a glob, and that's going to represent the body of the spoonbill. I'm going to mix a little bit more red into that pink, and we are going to use that darker color for the wings. And we're just going to kind of make them almost like boomerangs, 2 boomerangs on top of the blob. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of white to create the neck, and a little bit of white on the wings. I'm going to go in now with a little bit of orange, and we're going to paint on the beaks. Because birds in the wilderness, they need beaks, because how would they eat? I'm going to touch up the spoonbill with a little bit of red paint and white. We're going to mix that together and kind of touch it up a little bit to give it some highlight. I'm going to go in with a little bit of black for the egrets to make them some legs, and a little bit of gray for the spoonbill's legs and feet. I also included a little fish in the spoonbill's foot, as if he just caught something. I'm going to go in with a little bit of black paint and add in a little tiny dots for their eyes. On the alligators, I'm going to put in white dots and then go back with black to add in some black dots for the pupil. Now I'm going in and I'm just putting in a little bit of moss. I mixed in a little bit of the blue with gray and a little tiny bit of the white. And we're just going to kind of put them around. Moss is native to Louisiana. It's actually a plant on its own. It is an air plant, I believe. And it just kind of grows freely around. And it's just kind of globs of little gray things. And don't forget to sign your painting, and you are done. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my tutorial. If you do my tutorial and you paint a swamp of your own and even include some animals, please share it on Facebook or Instagram and tag me at GWB Art so that I can see them too. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.